Looks like another little TKO. Let it go. Y'all, I'm going to run one more song, and then we're just going to jump right into our topic and see what goes on for tonight. One more song, one more song. Don't tell me I had that on repeat. Come on now. Come on now. Don't tell me I had that on repeat, okay? Hey, Max. Good night, sweetheart. Welcome in. Woo. Welcome in, my love. Hey, Alicia. Good night, sweetheart. How are you? Can you guys hear the music just fine on YouTube? Just type me a yes or something so I know you guys could hear just fine. Maybe just a foolish dreamer, but I don't care. Perfect, perfect. I don't know how does it sound, but I'm hoping that you're hearing it just fine. And it's relaxing you and bring you guys in for just a nice little chill little night tonight, okay? So that's what we spoke about, and we're just going to jump right into it tonight, y'all. Good night. I ain't no singer, so I'm never going to try to do anything like that to embarrass myself on here tonight, okay? I'm no singer, okay? So let me never start trying. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. That's what I need to do. I need to share my intro with y'all. Guys, for those of you who are on TikTok, thank you guys so much for the love and the support. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, you're missing out on a lot of things that's going to go down here, okay? So please subscribe to my channel and let's just hang out. Let's just have a great time, okay? Thank y'all so much for joining and for tuning in. Yes, we can't hide. We can't hide. We can't hide. Well, thank y'all so much for coming in tonight. I'm gonna try to see if I could do this. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't want it to overpower my voice, but I'm gonna try to see if I could play a little jazz in the background a little bit, right? But before that, let me answer your question. Yes, I am Jamaican and New Yorker. So it's that combination that sometimes, guys, you might hear me say something and it sounds awkward, it sounds funny, it sounds different, like I'm not even pronouncing it properly, because guess what? I'm probably not. Probably not. And I feel like I'm so comfortable in my roots, in my foundation, in the part of me, the things about me, because that's what helps to strengthen me, right? And it's so funny that you asked that, because I was just thinking about it yesterday, and I was talking to a client, and I was saying to her that in my culture, a lot of these terminologies, I never heard them before. I knew nothing about what narcissism is. I did not know what manipulation is. It's as somebody would tell you, "Oh, she's just like that. Like, don't worry about her. She's just like that." Or, "No, I saw him stare." That's Jamaican. That's how he is, right? "I saw him stare." "No, man, just leave him alone. Leave all alone." So these are some of the things that was embedded in me as a Jamaican. I could speak for myself, is that I wasn't aware of a lot of terminologies, a lot, because we learn on a different level. It's very intelligent, it's very formal, it's very, like upscale kind of thing. But like the street smarts and stuff, I didn't get that from being inside the educational world. I got that from seeing my family members, seeing cousins, uncles, people around me with stuff. I did not know anything about narcissism. I would grow up, I remember as a little girl, my next door neighbor, him and the two of them, the man and the woman, they will always cuss and argue and fight. And so we grew up in this type of environment. When people get hostile and angry, that's how they deal with their frustration. So they would just be there arguing and cussing to the point where now you tell him something to hurt his feeling, and he tell you back something to hurt your feelings. And by the time you know it, both of you guys are going back and forth with each other. She's cussing you, you cussing her, she telling you about your mother, you telling her about her mother. And I grew up in this type of environment, seeing these things, not in my household per se, but I witnessed stuff like this. And I remember as a little girl, I can't forget that image, when all I saw was the man hand, like this whole fleshy part hanging off. Like what? The whole fleshy part of his hand was hanging off, because the woman and the man, they got into the argument so heated that she took a machete and chop him. You ever tell her what the Jamaican? Like, she chop him with it. No, she took the machete and gave him a whack on his hand, and the meat, can't forget that image. The meat of his hands was just hanging there. And that's violence. That's abuse. It's the domestication, right? That's domestic violence. And we grew up seeing these things and just knowing that I saw them stare, they argue, they cuss, and you grew up, because so now the younger generation see these things. They grow up with these type of environment, and they start, cussing and carrying on just the same way. So now you might think that, okay, it's normal, or you and your partner just cuss. That's how you guys talk to each other disrespectfully, because this is what you were raised with. This is what you saw as a child growing up. And it's don't be from a place where you got one family land, a family plot, right? Land. And there's multiple house on that land. Don't be from a neighborhood where you got multiple multiple houses on one land, because this family member is cussing that one, and that one is cussing that one, and it's so toxic. So if we really think about our roots and our foundation, a lot of things is embedded in us. A lot of things we bear witness to as children, and we grow up now, and sometimes we go out seeking these things because we're familiar with it, and we have a better understanding of what it is because we saw it as little children. So they might think that it's not affecting us, but remember, the things that they teach us and the things that we're being exposed to is for the new generation. That's why it's important, even to us now, is to learn from these experiences that we have. It's to learn from what we went through and to see how it's going to affect the children, the next generation. So instead of hiding some of the things that we experience, or hiding or lying to them about what they went through, educate them on it. Give them not don't be ashamed of it, because we grew up in a lot of these things. So don't be ashamed of what you went through and what you experienced. And I'm happy that you said that, because it reminded me. I was telling my friend about the same conversation too. I was telling my friend, like, man, I grew up seeing my cousin with multiple different women, and I'm the snitch. Okay, like I was the snitch. Okay, hey, good night, God first. And I'll second. Welcome in, sweetheart. Welcome in. Do not forget, guys, to like the button, to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, okay? I didn't even give y'all my warm welcome tonight. We just went right into it, right? I was saying, like, with my cousins, right? Let me give y'all a quick story. Really quick, let me just say welcome to everyone. Hey, guys, it's your girl, Nessa, Healing Your Silence. On this channel, we go from childhood trauma, toxic relationship, unhealthy relationship that have left you wounded. And we want to figure out, how do we get to the bottom of this stuff? How do we heal ourselves, and how do we become whole? Because in reality, like our topic tonight is discussing, would you be 100% healed? Would you ever be fully healed? And my quick and short answer to that is, as long as you're living, there's always going to be something to heal from. So don't rush yourself. Don't let anyone rush you and force you to hurry up and get healed. And you got to be whole 100% first before you could start dating and stuff like this. Do not let nobody pressure you into stuff like that. Okay. My goal here and my mission is to empower you to become your greatest self. That's what I'm here to do, to help you to better yourself. I've developed skills and experiences over the years, and I've also been a survivor of domestic violence, and I've also been a survivor of a narcissistic marriage for over 13 years. So I do have extensive experience. I do have a financial background and degrees, educational psychology background as well too. So I'm not going to say all of those things equip me, but I feel like God has empowered me to be able to do this. He has embedded some of the skills necessary inside of me, the knowledge, the resource, and the wisdom to allow me to be able to overcome these things, because we're wrestling with a demon. We're wrestling with the devil. So a lot of things that we're going through and we're experiencing, you can't do it alone. A degree is not going to get you out of it. And it's the strength of God that really pushes through and get us through these things. So without further ado, I am a personal development and success coach. If you're looking to develop yourself and to grow and to better yourself, if you're having a business idea, or you're stuck and you're struggling in a particular area and you don't know how to advance yourself because you're probably wrestling with different type of situations. Some of them are spiritual situations that we're dealing with. A spirit of backwardness, maybe stubbornness, maybe stagnant, no growth. Because after you're dealing with a narcissistic person, I'm telling you, what you're left with, the residue after this narcissist, it ain't nothing to play with. So I see that this is the area where I come in and I could share my expertise in how to get over that hurdle. How do you become more successful? How do you really get over this? How are you able to move on? How are you able to actually grow, develop yourself, and better yourself after experiencing one of these type of relationship? Just to give like a warm welcome and a warm introduction, so you guys get an idea of who I am. Because me start talking and you do not know who I am. What is it that I do? What she's just talking. Who is she? What does she do? And why am I sitting here listening to her? Well, I wanted to at least take an opportunity to let you guys know why you're sitting and listening to me, what's my purpose here, and how we're going to get through this together. Okay. Now that we have like a small little introduction out the way, let's jump back into this story time, y'all. Okay. So as a young girl growing up, I'm hoping the music is not disturbing you guys. I think it's probably low enough. Let me know if it's disturbing you. Please do not hesitate to let me know. Listen, the music is disturbing you. But as a young girl growing up, right? My cousin, the suave, kind of handsome, tall, and all the things that we would grow up wanting to desire, right? What we hear about in a partner. My cousin was that in the community. But I would notice that he always be talking to multiple people. And I'm like, I didn't like it, but I'm a kid. So I don't know nothing much. I have no clue what I'm witnessing. And he's talking to multiple different people. I remember 1, 2, And then another lady, like two of them that's in the same community. So I think we're getting somewhere, y'all. We're getting somewhere. But two of them was in the same community. One of them braids hair really well. The other one, she's your classy type of girl. But both ladies are great quality women. And I like both of them. And I'm just like, what is my cousin doing? But I remember he was talking to another lady, like how we would say, another state. Well, this was in Montego Bay and we were living in Clarendon. So a different state, basically. That's the distance, a different state. And I noticed that he's talking to this one, that one, that one. And I'm like, this. But the one that's from the other state, she really was somebody who, like, I don't know, my spirit took, I really like her. Her spirit resonated with me. So I really did like her. And I remember telling her, I pulled her to the side and I told her, like, I got to tell you something. And she was like, go ahead. I said, my cousin, he's talking to multiple different women. He's talking to that one and that one and that one. I don't know why I did it, but as a kid, I knew that was wrong. It was wrong. And I didn't approve of that kind of stuff. I didn't like it. So as a child, I was very rebellious against stuff like this. And I told on him that he was doing this kind of thing. And sure enough, my cousin got really mad. He got really upset. He started fighting me and I'm running, hiding. I took a broom and whacked him across his back and ran into the room and lock up. They hiding me from him because they already know if he get a hold of me, I don't know, he might pop me, he might break me, right? But what I'm trying to say is that we've been exposed to narcissism for so long. It's something that we grew up seeing for so long, even as a child. These are some of the things that we grew up seeing. And I, for one, did see all of these things, but I had no clue what it was. So I have firsthand experience of seeing a narcissist right in front of me. My own cousin is a narcissist. Now that I've learned so much things, he has so much narcissistic traits that I was able to watch him in operation. So I got a chance to kind of see from the narcissistic perspective. And if you really think about some of these things, you might have gotten some of those experiences as well and was able to witness some of these things, but you couldn't put your finger on it. There was no name for it. You know what they were saying in Jamaica? Managalis. That's why people look at Jamaican as cheaters. And it's no disrespect to my own culture, but that's one of the reasons, because they label themselves as gyalis. Man a real gyalis, man a old dog. And, you know, that's how they talk. And man have gal in a bungle, gal from Rima, gal from jungle. Right. If you listen to some of their songs, they're telling you in the songs that they have multiple women and they're dealing with multiple women at one time. So it's right in front of us. But we don't understand how to decode it because, like I said, we've never been exposed to the behaviors and the traits. We just look at it as, oh, he has multiple women. Oh, he's a man, you know, and those jokes that they tease each other. Oh, he not a one burner, right? So a lot of these behaviors, a lot of these things was right there in front of us the whole time, but we don't understand it. Like I said, in my culture, it was never explained to us. So we grew up with that expectation. So now chaos, confusion, fighting between one woman and the other woman. So that's a part of narcissism and toxic, unhealthy relationship. And it stems right there. If we could go into some of those days, some of those times that we've experienced some of these things and some of these relationships that we've witnessed in front of us, it will help give us closure. It will help us to gain understanding that we didn't ask for some of these things. We didn't ask to be a part of this. But for some reason, here we are experiencing this. And this is what it is right now. This is what we're dealing with. But getting the knowledge and getting the resources and the information to understand, how do you overcome this thing? How do you really deal with it? How do you escape it when it's all around you? But just like how you're that type of person who doesn't believe in those kind of things and is not moved by those kind of things, there's other people like yourself who's also not moved by multiple partners. And it's just, and some of them don't even have the right education or the right resources to not hurt the other person. And sometimes it's not that they want to be hurting you, but it's the peer pressure. It's what their friends are gonna say. They're gonna laugh at them. Oh, you a baby to this, and tease them and all different type of things. So you find that they're embarrassed, they're ashamed, their developmental part of growth did not get to mature. They're dealing with their own trauma, their own abandonment, their own neglect. So they can't love you. They can't open up and they cannot embrace you the way you need to be loved. So you might be wondering that why is it that, the narcissist might want to behave this kind of way? Why they don't want to just love me? Why can't they just respect me? They're battling their own issues. They're battling their own situation. And I got a chance to observe a little bit more into some of these information. As I got older and had my own experience with the narcissist, I realized that my cousin, he was grieving his mom because his mom migrated to another country and he's grieving her. He don't know how to really love and nurture a woman because he's missing that part of love for himself. So sometimes, material things cannot replace the emotional love and the emotional support. Like a young man needs his mommy's love. He needs to experience that first type of love and strengthening from his mom, and also be able to have a father love and a father figure to model what loving is supposed to look like, what taking care of a woman, respecting a woman is supposed to look like. But even his dad was also a womanizer. His dad was one too. So he got from his dad and his mom experiencing things like this because his mom went away. Whatever she was escaping or going away from, she left that to find something better for him. But providing finances and financial tangible things, that emptiness, that void, that love that baby wants and need, that nurturing and love, they're missing it. They're missing that part of it. So that's a broken piece. That's a wound that needs to be mended, that needs to be healed. So I was able to see it firsthand, how he mistreat women, how he took advantage of women, and he didn't love them. But there's a way how they do it to make you fall in love with them, because the goal is never to love you to begin with. The goal is for control. They don't know how to love you. It's missing from their mom. The mother's love, there's a disconnect there between the narcissist and their mom. They don't have that mommy love. And a lot of times, women go through the same thing as well too. It's the same exact thing, that sometimes a female does not have that relationship with her mom. She don't have that nurturing, that love, that affection with her mom. So that ladylike quality, that gentle, soft side of her, she's not tapped into it. So she doesn't know how to embrace that part of her and actually show that type of love and nurturing to a man. She doesn't know how to do that. She wasn't taught properly how to do things like that. And it's the same thing, not having that daddy image, not having that father figure in the household. That's another part of it that creates a damaging wound that lasts for a long time. Having that father's love, that's the first love. That's your first love. He's supposed to be taking you on your first dates, doing the first things with you, showing you what it's like to be loved, like showing you all these things. A daddy's love is supposed to show you these things. But that's missing because when you don't have that father love. So a lot of times we might say that, oh, my daddy was around, but physically being there and being emotionally distant is not being there. I'll hear this a lot, and I'm one of them too, that I was a married single woman. It's not a great combination. It's a poor explanation of the combination. But if you listen to it, it's kind of self-explanatory. You're married, but you're actually a single woman because you're the one who's doing everything for yourself. So you don't know what it's like to be in a balanced relationship. You don't know what it's like to embrace love and affection and stuff like that because it wasn't given to you. And you might be wondering, like, so, okay, I understand it. It wasn't given to me. I didn't get it. So you're telling me all of this because what? I hear you. I could relate to what you're saying. But how do I find this love? Like, how do I actually get it? Something that helped me when I was going through that transformational period in my life was the process that I took. And the process that I took was I actually repeated this process over and over. I repeated, I realized it's a proven formula. And this formula, I use it with just about every harsh situation and challenging experiences that I go through. I use this formula and it's still proven. And I'll tap into it just a little bit really quickly. The hardest thing to do is to accept it. That's one of the hardest things to do is to accept it. Like, it's not what I thought it is. It's not what I thought it is. I'm not getting the love that I want. And if you could sit and accept that truth that you're not getting the type of love that you desire, the type of love that you want, if you can accept that and be honest with yourself that you're not getting it and accept it. Because sometimes you're looking for somebody to love you and they're not even capable of doing it. They don't know how to do it. They don't even know which way to turn, how to go about doing it. So you're going to be sitting there looking for something that you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. And you're going to be sitting there wondering if you'll ever get it. But if you accept the fact that whatever you thought was is actually not, and you go ahead and you accept that, then now you have to grieve it. It's like going through a memorial for somebody. They're no longer there. So now you have to grieve their non-existence anymore, right? They're not physically around anymore. So we have to grieve that loss, grieve that experience, or, being with that person. They're no longer around. So now you got to let them go. And it's a whole grieving process. And nobody could tell you how long you need to grieve it. But after you cry and you go through that grieving process and you let it out and you release them and you accept it, because you got to accept it and you got to grieve them and let it go. And sometimes we're looking for closure, but in the beginning, like I said, the closure sometimes comes from our childhood. We have a lot of the closures, a lot of the answers, a lot of the things that we're looking for. We actually do have a lot of those answers and they're right there. But with all of the emotions and everything that we go through with the narcissist, we kind of lose focus on how to navigate all these emotions and stuff that we have going on. So grieving what you went through and grieving the loss of the illusion of what you thought was, because they sold us a dream, y'all. We were sold a dream. We bought it. It looked good, but for some reason, like you're still sleeping, the dream cannot come to reality. We're still sleeping, right? So grieve that we thought was, and lay it to rest. And accept the reality that that's no longer what it is. Create your own reality and accept that. Accept it. Know the truth, accept the truth, so you'll be able to move on peacefully. Look into the narcissist to get closure. Look into them to come back and give you answers. You're not going to get it. And here's one of the reasons that a narcissist is not going to give you closure. If they close the door with you, then they're done. They cannot close the door with you because they need an avenue to come back. Why would they close the door if they're going to come back? They're going to circle back. They're always going to circle back because they want to know if you're the same weak-minded person they left. So if you're still available and you have not taken the opportunity to grieve and to close that door yourself, because they leave it open, they're not going to close it. You're the only one who's going to close that door, not the narcissist, only you. So if you're sitting waiting for them to come back and to give you closure to end that chapter and that season, they're not going to do it. And you're going to sit there with hopes that they're coming back, because in reality, they know how to come back. They know how to come back and hoover you right back in like nothing happened. It will be 6 months. It will be 3 months. It will be 3 weeks. It will be 3 years, and they'll pick up the phone and call you. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? So what's going on? So what you doing tonight? Just like that. It's so simple and it's textbook, and they do it every single time. Like nothing happened. Like they didn't disrespect you. Like they didn't call you out your name. Like they didn't hurt you. Like they didn't just ghost you and walk out and leave you. So some of these things, you already have a lot of the answers for them, because grieving it comes from you. The more we start to go through this process, the more we start to accept that this is not real. It's not real. And that's just, I don't know how I was able to go through this. I don't know how I was able to really like accept the fact that this is not real. How do you mean it's not real when that's a real person? I couldn't get my mind wrapped around it for nothing. But I really had to sit and pay attention to the fact that when somebody loves you, they don't treat you like that. When somebody truly loves you and care about you, they don't treat you like that. And it's not supposed to look like that. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it's not that. And right now, that hurts a little bit too much. That one hurt way too much, and I can't figure it out. And I don't want no parts of this anymore. So I have to really let it go. I have to grieve it. And it's hard. It's painful. It don't even feel right. Going through this experience, it does not feel right. It's so uncomfortable. It feels like somebody just ripped out a part of me. And it feels so uncomfortable. I remember the first night taking my kids out to eat. I was just a body at the table as an adult, a responsible driver. My soul was ripped out from me. I was not able to, I couldn't think straight. I felt like I just lost everything in the world. I felt like I just lost my best friend. I just lost a piece of me. Like, I don't know what to do. I was so helpless. But I knew I had to be present for my children. I had to be there. I had to be present for them. So going through the process and accepting it and grieving it and overcoming it and being on the other side of healed of the narcissistic relationship and being more healed, not 100% healed. I would listen, there's always going to be something to heal from. And that's a truth that we have to learn to accept. But being on the other side of things, it feels so much different. It feels so rewarding that I would love for you guys to take a taste of it, get a taste of it. So for those who are afraid to make the move, for those who who don't know how to overcome the narcissist, how to get past those stages because you're scared and healing is hard and you don't know if you're even going to be healed, or you don't know what to expect. It's hard if you stay. It's super hard. And it's also hard to take a chance and to try and to do something different. That's also hard too. Both of them is hard. It don't matter which one. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's easy. No, it's hard. Both of it is. But you have the opportunity to choose the hard that you want. And you have the opportunity to see it through. Because think about how committed you are to staying. Because you're afraid of what's on the other side. And the healed version of you is on the other side of your fear. The healed version of you is on the other side of what you're holding on to. All the pain and the hurt, the sun will come out again. It will be better. You will smile again. You will get your smile restored once more. But are you willing to take that step? Are you willing to really give it a try? Do it for you. Don't do it for nobody else. Do it for you. And don't do it because you want to, I'm on the other side of this now, so I'm doing this as a revenge body. And I'm doing this as some, I'm going to get back at him. I'm going to show him that this is what he's missing out on, or this is what she's missing out on. Nobody cares. Cut it out. Cut it out. Nobody really cares. No. If you're truly doing something, do it because it matters to you, and do it because it's important to you, and do it because you know it's going to better you. That person ripped out a piece of you. They took a part of you that you cannot get back those years. You cannot get back those time. You cannot get back none of these things. Be more intentional about the things that you are doing. And I know sometimes when you meet somebody and you're just talking to them, you might think that you're not wasting your time. But think about how many years that you have wasted with the narcissist. Think about how long you stayed in the narcissistic relationship, way too long. And what did it do? What did it do? What was the result of that relationship? You had to walk away from it no matter what, because the narcissist was not going to change. They do not have no plans of changing. They do not have no thoughts of changing. And you eventually had to walk away and leave. So think about how long you stayed in that relationship and how much of your years and your time that you wasted in that type of relationship. So value your time more. If you don't value your time, nobody else will. If you don't decide to put a stop to certain things, to people disrespecting you and taking advantage of your time, nobody else will. I get text messages, I get inbox, I get messages and stuff like that. And I get all these information and people trying to reach out to me and to holler at me and all of these things, and I get it. And I'm going to just read to you one comment here really quickly. So someone sent me a message today, right? And I'm going to give you my response. They said, "How's your day going?" That's how the message starts. "How's your day going?" So I said, "Hey, blank, I'm hoping you're well. My day is going as planned with smiles. We virtually met about a month ago and have been exploring our options," right? Because I'm very clear and open that you explore your options. Okay. You listen. Anyway, that's a topic for another time, right? And exploring our options. While I appreciate your sporadic check-ins, because listen, I want to be very clear in what I'm saying and listen very carefully. While I appreciate your sporadic check-ins, I'm more intentional about the next chapter. I tend to thrive in an environment where there's effective communication and clear expectation. I hope your day is filled with positive energy and good productivity. Take care. Now, you don't have to get loud. You don't have to be nasty, how to set the tone and to let somebody know, I'm not the one for this. You don't play with my time. Simple. It was a simple read. It was a simple, yes, I don't have time for this. I'm very intentional about my next chapter. And while I appreciate your spirit, and this is what you got to remember, right? Because we've become so accustomed to inconsistency. We have become so accustomed to hot and cold. We have become so accustomed to the narcissist hopping in one day and ghosting us the next day. So we're accustomed to that type of relationship, and we go back and forth with that type of toxicity. That type of toxicity and inconsistent behavior, we need an eye for it. So if someone reaches out to you today, you don't hear from them till a week later, 2 weeks, that's inconsistent. That's very sporadic. That's spontaneous. So are we trying to get to know each other? So where's the clear communication? And that's the reason that in the beginning, you set the clear expectation, effective, and now you guys communicate effectively. So it's not to be afraid to go back out into the dating world. I do not promote fear of going into the dating world. I promote you going into it, because that's how you're going to overcome these fears. That's how you're going to overcome these obstacles and these challenges, is to actually go back out in the dating world. But you got to learn from the things that you've experienced and recognize red flags. Now, if your time is not valuable, then why you think somebody else is going to value your time? Set clear expectations, have effective communication. So if you guys both us speaking and saying that, okay, you're both single and you would like to get to know each other more. Now, you're not exclusive. You're not in a committed relationship. Understand that. And that person is not exclusive to you. So please understand that. Don't try to lock somebody down, because this is what the narcissist will use as a weapon to get you reeled in and to get you hooked, is the moment that you start acting like that's your man. Ladies, that's not your man. Remember that until you guys are exclusive, both people are free to date whoever they want to. And we have to remember that. So don't let, because somebody say hi to you the first time, you automatically take it as if you guys are exclusive and they lied to you that they don't have nobody else. Have clear communication. Are you actively dating? Are you in a committed relationship? Are you exclusive with anyone? Because my goal is to date with intentions. My goal is to be very intentional about what I do. And you go ahead and you share that information with the person that you're looking to possibly be in a relationship. And you set these clear communication and talk about it. So now when you've explained that and you guys have both agreed on that, then now have effective communication. So now it shouldn't be somebody texting you 1 week here, 1 week there, and randomly here, there, and there. And you have to allow them to show you what they would rather do. Because if a man is pursuing you, then your job is to reciprocate. Do not take on the role and start to pursue them, because the part of a narcissistic plan is for them to chase you so hard, so quick, so fast, and it comes on so strong, which is the love bombing stage. And the moment they see that they got you hooked, the role reverse. They fall back and they stop the pursuit. They stop everything. And now you find yourself chasing them. You haven't returned my call. You haven't paid me no mind. You're saying all the things verbally. You're saying it. They haven't called you. They haven't checked on you. They haven't paid you any attention. That's because they don't care. So all the answers is right there in front of you. They're already giving you the answers and telling you everything that you need to know right in front of your face, but you're not paying attention. Hey, James, you're not paying attention because you're not able to process the information that they're telling you right to your face. So if they're not calling you, they're not communicating you, they're not replying to your messages, they're already telling you what you need to know. But you're still calling them and you're still trying to figure out, what are they saying? They're verbalizing it to you very clear. It's very clear. It's very open. And the communication is right there. So we have to learn to pay attention to these things in the early stages, because that's how they get you hooked. A narcissist's goal and their mission is just to hurt you. But they cannot hurt you if you don't allow this type of behavior. So you're still the one who's responsible for allowing this type of behavior because you accept it. Now, if someone is inconsistent with their communication with you, with how you guys talk or spend time together, they disappear 1 minute, you can't find them nowhere, their phone is off, and all these inconsistency and all these things that you know is not healthy, then what this person is clearly communicating to you is that they're not in a position to be emotionally available for a healthy relationship. They're clearly telling you that. Because if they're ready for a healthy relationship and if they're ready to communicate effectively, they would do so. They would not leave you wondering what's going on and how to do this. They would not leave you in a state like that. If they're having a busy day at work, they will let you know today's going to be a rough day, or today is a rough day. Or my apologies, I wasn't able to reach out to you today. Today was busy. We have to learn our value and understand that it's not too much to communicate with someone that you are pursuing, that you respect and that you care about, because this is going to be the relationship that you look forward to. This is what you guys are preparing yourself for. This is what you guys are saying, that this is going to be our future. This is how we're communicating going forward. This is what we're going to do in the relationship going forward. So if you're in a relationship and this is what it looks like, or even if you're getting to know a person and it's been 1, 2, 3 months and this is what the communication look like, why do you think it's going to change somehow later? When they wanted to get with you in the beginning, in the first 2 weeks, the pursuit is hot. And it's all, and they're telling you like they've never met anyone like you before. You're the perfect person for them. And they can't imagine being without you. And you're the only one that they trust. And they tell you so much things, but it's not consistent. I see James popped into the live over here. I'm not sure if he's still in the room, but this is something that I would hear James say all the time, is that words tried over time builds trust. I think that's what he says. James, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But words tried or proven over time, that's how you build trust. And if you really think about it, somebody's going to give you their word and they're going to say that, hey, this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm looking for in a relationship. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is what it is. And they lay out the foundation of what to expect. So that's the reason that in the beginning with a narcissistic person, you feel so comfortable because they're telling you the right things and they're laying that type of foundation for you in a sense where they're telling you everything and it sounds so magically perfect because what the narcissist is doing is during the conversation between both of you guys, they're listening to you, they're observing your body language, and they're paying very close attention to everything that it is that you're doing. So what they're going to do, they're going to mirror you back to you. They're going to mirror you back to you. That's all they're doing is mirroring you. So that's why it seems so perfect. That's why it seems like everything is adding up. This is the perfect one and everything is so right on target, is because they're mirroring back you to you. So they're mimicking you basically and making a mockery out of you right in front of your face. But if you don't understand how to decode these things, you won't be able to pick up on it and recognize that it's happening right before your eyes, right before your face. They're doing it. If they're not going to be consistent, follow through with their word. So if they tell you that it's going to be apples and bananas on Sundays, okay, then here comes apples and bananas on Sundays. And you notice that they're consistent. Even if one day they decide to do peach instead of apples or grapes, it doesn't matter what it is, but what you're learning is their consistency. They try to keep their word. Their word is their bond. A person's word, all you have is really your word. Your word is your bond. And if you can't keep your word, then the bond is broken. There's no bond. If your word is your bond and you can't keep that, then there's no bond. What are you keeping then? A narcissist break these bonds repeatedly. But the way how they do it, you wonder, why can't you leave? Because the soul tie that creates, it's emotional, it's spiritual. You're locked in. You start caring for this person. It's so normal to care for someone. It's so easy to start to wonder about a person if they're okay. And that's what creates the obsession, is because you start to wonder. And the brain starts to go into this wondering zone where you're wondering what's going on with them. I know they care for me because they tell me. So you start to repeat back what they've said to you. You start to repeat back that and mimic that and imitate everything that they've said to you, that you know they care. They're probably just going through something right now. You know they love you, but they're just going through something right now. It's a mirror. It's just mirror. You're mirroring and accepting the bad behaviors and the things that they verbally said, but they're verbally saying, so their words were not proven over time. After you've tried their words, they did not prove they did not prove that there was trust there. So that's why you don't trust the narcissist. And what they're doing is that they want you to trust them. So they don't want you to be able to think for yourself anymore. You can't think for yourself. So you're using their brains to think for you. So now when you try to make a decision, you don't know how to make a decision on your own. You have to get approval. You got to get acceptance. You got to get so much things from them. You can't do it on your own. But I don't want you guys to beat yourself up, though. That's where I'm going with this, is like, I get all of that. because it's a craft. And when you understand the craft and the art to them manipulating you and hurting you, you realize that it's not just you that they're going to be doing this to. They're going to be doing this to the next person, the next person, and the next person, and the next person. So once we start to wrap our head around what's happening, what's going on, what you're experiencing, and why you're going through this, then you'll be able to overcome this thing and gain power and control. You'll gain back your own power. You'll gain back your own control over this thing, because you let your guards down after that initial conversation. After that first conversation that sounds like this person is the one, they're perfect, and the whole love bombing is taking place at this time is when you're so excited and you're trusting that person and you let your guards down because you believe what they told you. Sorry about that, guys. You believe what they told you without giving a chance to prove it. You need time to prove something. It's like testing a formula. It's like you put the ingredients in a cake to bake it. You can't just go eat the cake right away. The cake's not ready yet. It needs time to process. It needs time to bake. It's the same thing. And I feel like I thinking back about it, I didn't give the cake time to bake. I put it in the oven. Forget about the oven. I just put it in the container and started eating it. There was no time for it to bake. So with all the ingredients and they're telling you all these things, and you're putting all these ingredients in a pan and you're putting all these ingredients in a bowl and then mixing all these ingredients. And now you put it in the pan to bake because it's supposed to give you back a cake. All this liquid fluid is going to bake into a cake, but there's a process that it goes through to get to that stage to come back out. But we never made it to getting into the oven to get through that process. It's still there mixing because there's a whole bunch of gibberish and there's a whole bunch of things going on. And we don't know how to separate them and how to put this over here and, grease the pan first and let it bake and then cut it and use a knife. All these things, we did not take the time to go through none of these things to really see that we need to give this thing time to show the strength in it. But we base a lot of these relationships on our old time grandma, grandpa type of relationship where they'll tell you, oh, we weren't all this way happy. It wasn't like this the whole time. Or we were fighting, cussing, this and that and that. And they'll go through stuff and they'll tell you old time stories. So you have that type of hope. But both people were willing and ready to try it, to get through it. Both people are willing and ready to try it and get through it. When you're with somebody who's willing to put in the work and willing to give stuff a try, it makes a difference. It's completely different from when it's one-sided, when you have somebody who's looking to power you, to gain control and power over you. What's the point of you trying to gain control over me and to overpower me for what? We're in this together as a team. It's a partnership. You shouldn't want to try to gain control over me or anything like that. For what? Let me take a moment, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the like button, because this information that we have here, we want to get it out. And this is a way for you guys to help me to support the channel so I can continue to make videos like this and share the information and go out. So I appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't already, it's your girl Healing Your Silence, Nessa. Please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I see Alicia made a comment. Let me go ahead and read it for you. Said, he had nothing positive to offer, no love, just the sex. Listen, no substance, because listen, that's their playground. That's their playground. That's where they dominate, because you might be there enjoying it. They're watching you enjoy it, but they're dominating you. Because it's a soul thing. They're capturing your soul. So that's how they gain control through sex. That's how they gain control right there. And you will hear people tell you, be careful who you lay with. You don't even know who you laying with. Oh, they're right. Be careful who you're laying with. You don't know the half of what's going on. So be careful of who you are laying with. Be careful of who you are sleeping with. That's exactly how they gain control, through sex. It's easy. You're comfortable, you're vulnerable, you're enjoying the moment. It feels good. Well, why not? And Lord, tell me why these narcissists are so blessed in that department. Like, can somebody tell me? And then the good, like some of the good ones, let me not try to like they need help. They need help. Like they need help. Big time. Big time. So I get it. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. But they're pretty blessed in those departments. And even the ladies too. They're very seductive, very seducing. They are very, very blessed in that because that's how they thrive. That's their power. That's their power. That's their area of dominance. That's how they dominate you. Ooh. And then guess what, too? They give it to you so good, and then they withhold it from you. Ooh. Huh. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. And here you are thinking, oh, it's been a week, it's been a month. Oh, and you're thinking, and that's just how they punish you. They withhold it from you. That's punishment. Especially you gonna let them do something. Now you let a narcissist have to do something. Oh, so he had to go to this wedding. Oh, he had to go to this function. Oh, he had to tell you that he's sorry. Oh, he had to do this. Or you make him do something, or you make her do something. Oh, you getting punished for that. You getting punished. They have so many ways how they punish you, and one of them is withholding sex from you. And that's abuse. That the emotional abuse that you face with them, people don't understand it that's never been with one of them. They think that you're just going around labeling people and don't understand that surviving a narcissistic relationship is real. That's domestic violence. Especially when it gets physical, that domestic violence, surviving that is so real. I celebrate you guys for surviving that. I celebrate you guys for doing that because it is no fun when a little child have to sit there and watch their parents go through domestic violence and being beat on by their dad. No part of it is okay. No little child to have to sit there and witness this type of abuse. They'll grow with resentment. They'll grow with anger and hurt and pain. It's unhealthy. If you don't have to stay into anything like that, I'm telling you, don't. And the reason I say if you don't have to, because you shouldn't stay in anything like that. It's only because I empathize with those who it's harder to leave and they don't know how to leave. If you're having struggles and challenges and don't know how to leave and you would like to book a session with me to go over stuff like this, because I'm going to tell you off the bat, you don't even have to book any session with me if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable. You don't. Here's what I would suggest you do. You need a safety plan. You need a safety plan, and you need to operate in silence when you're executing that safety plan, because your safety is crucial. Okay. If your safety is at risk, you have to be very strategic how you get out of these type of relationships. How do you get out of it? It's very strategic, and you have to be very careful how you go about doing it, because you might not make it out. Listen, I'm not making this stuff up. We watch the news, we watch stories, we see things all across, and we know somebody who knows somebody who knows something about something that somebody didn't make it because something happened there. Okay. We all have some form of experiences with it. So it's no first time you're hearing it here. This is not the first time. And I'm sure it's not going to be the last time you hear about something like this. But this is what they do, is they get you hooked in. Hi, Alicia. Welcome in, sweetheart. This is what they do. They get you reeled in and hooked in so fast, so quickly. And it happens so fast. But we have to remember, Once we learn our standards and our boundaries, and we start to execute those standards and boundaries, and if someone is violating our boundaries and pushing up against it, there's no need to stick around, because if they're showing you right up front that they're disrespectful, take it as a hint and let them save you some years. Save yourself some years, because what you see is who they are. They always show you who they are, and it's right in front of your face the entire time. They're so bold with it these days that you don't have to go digging too deep to really see who they are. It was whole something that was false. Yep, I agree. Once you realize, Alicia, that you were holding on to something that was not real, it wasn't real. And the whole time you're there enjoying it and in the moment, and it's not real. That was one of the, I could not bridge the gap. I could not bridge the gap to say, how are you telling me that the interaction is not real? Like, I know what I did. Look, I have children to prove it. It is real. You could not tell me that it was not real. But the physical experience was real. There's no real connection. There's no real bonding. That person does not like you. They never did. They never did. Oh, I love you. I just want to be with you, because it's words that you enjoy hearing. So they know every time they mess up, they just got to tell you what you like to hear. And that's going to keep you quiet. And they know how long it's going to keep you quiet for, because they know the amount of time they could buy. They just need to buy themselves some time. Maybe their mission, because a lot of them are opportunists. Most of them are opportunists. And it's whatever their opportunity is, whether it's an opportunity to hurt you, to gain control, to manipulate you, whatever it is, to feel better about themselves, because they are empty vessels. They're very empty. They're very hollow. They don't have emotions like you think they do. They're mirroring you and mimicking you the whole time. So the more you pay attention to these things, and you went through this experience not because it's a plaything. You went through this experience, and now you're growing stronger and being strengthened in a particular area, in that area. So continue to wise up, continue to gain your wings, continue to elevate yourself up from what you experienced, because you didn't just go through it for no particular reason. You went through this experience, and it is strengthening you. Now you're more equipped. And you don't need to go around labeling everybody as a narcissist. That's very inappropriate. As a matter of fact, it's disrespectful. Yes, you could see people that have narcissistic traits, but to go around with the label and labeling everybody as if they're a narcissist is very toxic, is very inappropriate, and we should not do it. Observe behaviors. And once you start to learn behaviors and patterns, they'll repeat themselves, they'll show themselves, and you'll be able to recognize and identify these things. And that's really what it is. And when you've recognized and seen that these behaviors and certain patterns that this person is demonstrating is not for you, the best thing you could do is peacefully walk away. The sooner you excuse yourself and said, oh, you try to play me. Like, I know you did not. You don't have to give them none of this emotion. And this is where we go wrong a lot of times. We try to be emotional. We try to give them back that emotion. And you don't need to give nobody that type of emotion. Hey, B Duffy. Welcome. We're over on YouTube hanging out tonight. I don't know if you subscribe to the channel as yet. But there's a link in my bio to get you over to subscribe to the channel. And we're actually wrapping up in a couple of minutes. We're going to be out of here. So we're at the tail end of our conversation. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with your girl, Healing Your Silence, Nessa, tonight. Success and personal development coach to help you to get yourself better, to get you back on track, to get you to accomplish these goals and to get across these hurdles. And if you're feeling stuck and feeling stagnant, that you can't get to that next level, and you're having challenges on moving on from this narcissist, if you're having these challenges and don't understand how to really get past this stage with them, listen, send me an email at healingyoursilence@gmail.com. You could click on my page and book a one-on-one session with me. Send me an email, send me a message. There's multiple ways how you could get to me. You could go on my TikTok page. There's a link in the bio. There's my calendar there. So you can book your appointments, whatever time you see available on my calendar. Squeeze yourself in. If there's no spots available, please just shoot me an email and I'll work something out with you and we'll figure out if there's a time zone difference. We'll figure out the time zone difference and we'll work something out. I'll make the time for you necessary. But don't forget, y'all, you didn't go through that experience for no reason. You did not go through that experience for no reason. Let me see what Miss Alicia says. She says, at the end of the day, you have to know your worth. Otherwise, you would think it's normal and you deserve being treated that way. You are absolutely correct because we've normalized toxic behavior. We've normalized unhealthy behavior, right? We've normalized those kind of behavior. So now it's normal. It's normal to see a woman smack a man in his face, right? It's normal to see your granddaddy come in drunk and beating on grandma. And a lot of these things, we've normalized them because we grew up and we saw them and it's not normal. But we've normalized them. Oh, that's just how granddaddy is. Oh, he just say any old thing. No, it's not okay. And you're right. You have to start learning how to value yourself and how to appreciate yourself and how to know your worth. But going through this narcissistic experience, that's a quick tool to help you to start knowing your worth. And it's not to rush back into another narcissistic relationship. It's not to go back into a relationship with them after thinking that that's going to help you to get over them. No. Got to go through the healing process. You got to go through the healing journey. And sometimes the fear of going through the healing journey and not knowing what to expect and how to do it and what are the step by step. And once you start, you get frustrated and you can't see this through, you can't follow it through. Well, listen, that's why we're here. We have multiple different platforms, coaches out here that are educating you, that are trying to help you to be more knowledgeable and bring awareness to it. But yes, we could bring you the awareness, but the reality is we cannot do the work for you. But here's the difference is we could be that support system, that bridge that help you to get across to the next level that you're trying to get to, because support system goes a long way. You could be talking to your friends and family around you and they don't understand narcissistic abuse because some of them have never been through this experience before. They don't know what it's like. Sometimes they're the very same people that are telling you to go work on your relationship. Sometimes they're the very same people that are telling you to go work on your marriage, go figure it out. Because they've accepted some of these behaviors and normalized some of these behaviors. Brother James, they've normalized some of these behaviors and now you accept them as if that's what it is. You learning your worth and your value goes a very long way, but it takes time. Partnering with a life coach, partnering with a relationship coach, partnering with a coach, they have the experience and now they're going to become that accountability partner that helps you to bridge that gap between you becoming successful at your healing journey. Because sometimes you don't have all the right answers. Sometimes you find yourself accepting the hoovers, the love bombings, them weaning themselves back into your life, and you don't know how to be strong. But when you know that you have a coach, that you're actually spending your money to get this type of help and support, you're now at a different accountability level and you're now more empowered because you have someone who's cheering you on and is pouring into you and is helping you, encouraging you to let you know that, yes, you can do it. On days where you feel weak and you feel like you want to give up, you need support. You need a support system to get through narcissistic abuse. The psychological damage that it leaves on you, that mental scar that it left on you, is very damaging and detrimental to you. You will get sick. You will start feeling body aches and pains, and you don't know where they come from, and you don't have no clue about anything of the sorts. But speaking to people who don't have the experience, who don't have the knowledge, can sometimes feel like you're talking to a wall because they don't understand it. And one thing is, we have to allow you to grieve. We have to allow you to go through the experience. And while a lot of these experiences might be similar, we have to treat each experience as an individual. We have to allow you to go through your experience and be able to verbalize what you've gone through and be able to articulate it, because that's how you're going to get over it. That's how you're going to get through it, is by actually processing those emotions, being true to yourself, knowing that yes, it hurts. It's painful that somebody really treated me like this, but guess what? I allowed this type of behavior. What am I going through that I'm allowing this type of behavior? What is it that I'm experiencing? What is it? What's that little girl or that little boy inside of me is going through that needs to heal? What kind of cry are they crying out? How can I heal this little part of me to stop accepting this type of behavior? And that's where you're going to get strength. And sometimes you need that support and help to get across that hurdle. You might think you could do it alone, but I'm telling you, you can't. By the strength of God, yes, you will. But a lot of times there's certain part of your healing journey that you do alone. There's some parts of your healing journey that you do with a therapist, a counselor, a coach, or even a pastor. And there's another part of the healing process that you do in a new relationship. Because sometimes you don't understand a lot of your triggers. Sometimes you don't understand a lot of the things that are going to resurface themselves. And you got to remember that that person didn't hurt you, the new person. You got to treat everyone as an individual. You cannot bring old baggage over into something new. That's why the healing process and the journey is so important, that you go through the steps. Sometimes when you're in a new relationship, that person is going to trigger stuff. And now you guys have to communicate and you guys talk about it. So now they understand that this is something that bothers you. Now they know how to treat you. Now they know how to navigate and know they understand that, okay, it's okay. They know how to comfort you. Because after you go through a narcissistic relationship, I'm telling you, you're hyper vigilant. You're on high alert. Your anxiety level is up. You don't trust nobody. But these are some of the things that you have to heal from in order to learn to trust again. And by taking one step at a time is going to help you to start doing these things. And you'll find yourself becoming normal again and readjusting into society and becoming whole. But it takes time. I promise you it does. I can't tell you guys thank you enough for hanging out with me tonight. I cannot tell you guys thank you so much for hanging out. At the end of the day, yes, you got to take care of yourself. And I see Alicia's have another comment here. Y'all, sometimes I go off on a tantrum, right? Sometimes I go off on a tantrum. I literally just went through this. It's been 4 days. I stopped calling and texting, and he has not reached out. No emotion, right? And I think about this all the time. Even with my kids, we hug and we kiss multiple times for the day. Multiple times for the day, we hug, we kiss. Mommy, you okay? Yeah, I'm good. What about you? You good? Like, it's just so normal. We've normalized hugging and kissing and checking in on each other multiple times for the day. That's what we have normalized. So if a person could go a day, 2 days, 3 days, and don't check on you to see how you're doing, that person is rootless. That person is heartless, and they really don't care about you like you think. So sitting there waiting for them to reach out, waiting for them to somehow magically throw you crumbs, it's because we've been sitting there and we've normalized crumbs so much that a slice of bread gives us a stomach ache. We've normalized the crumbs so much that don't give us a loaf of bread. We're going to be obese with it. Like me, like obese, but whatever. Don't do that, right? Because that's just too much for us to handle. You're worth more than crumbs. You're worth more than a slice. You're worth more than half the bread. You're beyond that. But like you said earlier, when we don't understand our worth, we normalize the little crumbs. We normalize the little shakings that you get, the leftovers that nobody wants. Not even the dog don't want it. The dog refused that. The dog got their own food. They don't want no leftovers. Who are you going with that? They don't want it. So In a situation where we don't understand our value and our worth, we're going to accept any little crumbs, any little thing. And you're worth more than that. If a man or a woman can go 24 hours and y'all are in a relationship, I'm not talking about courting, I'm not talking about vetting, I'm not talking about those early kind of, but if you're in a relationship with a man and he can go 24 hours without talking to you, he can go 24 more and keep counting. If you're not worth 5 minutes of somebody's time, 10 minutes, then how you going to do a lifetime with that person? If they can't give you 5 minutes one day, if they're so busy to not give you their time, why would you think there's a future with this person? And that's where we're also delusional about these things, because we don't understand that. Why are we accepting that? Why is that okay? Because if you're accepting that, why would they give you more? If you're comfortable with that, why should they give you more? If they give you crumbs and you treat it like the whole loaf, why would they even give you any more? If every time they do this, it's accepted, why would they continue to do it? Why would they do anything different? I should say, sorry. There's no need to correct the behavior that's accepted. That's like getting 100 on a test and the teacher's looking at you like that's not acceptable. What? What am I supposed to get? 100 and what? Isn't 100 the max? Right. But they're not even giving you the max. You're getting nothing. So if they're giving you nothing, why should they change the nothingness when it's acceptable? And we don't know their pattern and their behavior because we don't pay attention to it, the routine. Whenever you see a narcissistic person goes ghost for like 3 weeks, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, remember when you just got with them, what they did to you. They were very persistent for about 4 or 5 days consecutive. It was heavy. They came on so hot, so strong in those first 5 days to 14 days. Like they were hot. They start telling you where they were going, what they're doing. I'm giving you updates. Oh, I went to the store. I went here. They're telling you everything because they're programming you and training you what they're going to be expecting from you. Because here's what's going to happen. They need to have everyone on rotation. So once they have everyone on rotation, guess what's going to happen? When you start sending your coordinates, you send your coordinates, I know your location, then it lets them know how to navigate because they have everybody on rotation. So the 4-day ghosting, the 5-day you ain't heard from them, somebody else is in pursuit. And I'm not telling you that, oh, they cheating, they this and that. If you're truly with a narcissist, they're cheating. It's who they are. In order to continue, they must have supply. You think people just talk about, oh, I'm going through these baby mama drama and stuff like that. That's supply. Because they got to circle the block. That's supply to them. Even if they have to argue, and that's supply to them. If they why is 2 adults arguing about the kids' well-being? For what? If it's that serious, why don't you go to court and have a process in place? Have child support process in place where you don't have to speak to them or talk to them if y'all can't be civil, right? So do it that way then. So there's a payroll section where it comes automatically out your paycheck to go into the child support benefits for the kids, and then the mom has a card or whatever, she has a bank account where she gets access to the money to take care of the kids, and maybe she have to send the judge receipts to show that she's really taking care. Whatever it might be, there's a process that they don't have to communicate and argue and do all of that nonsense. And this is where a lot of times when a woman goes into a relationship or a man goes into a relationship and they're afraid to date somebody with children, and I think I need to do a topic with that, dating somebody with children, what does it look like? I'll touch on it briefly, but we'll go into it much deeper at a later time. Do they have their arrangements in order? See, for me, that's where the deal breaker should be, not because they have children. Because you as an adult, you once was a child too. You just grew up and now you're an adult. So don't judge because somebody else have children and you don't want to, like, that's okay. But here's what understanding and knowledge and experience comes in. Do they have their stuff in order? Is there a system in place? Is there a process in place that you don't have to go into something to try to fix it? Because if you walk into a situation trying to fix it and trying to put things in process and orders in place, let me tell you something, you need to run. If they don't have a system and a process in place already and you're going there to create one, now you're the problem. You're definitely the problem because you have no business there. So it seems like they want to give you all the responsibility and you're so cool, yet you're the problem. So yes, healing goes a long way. Being on the other side of your pain is your road to healing, is your journey to healing, is your road to becoming the better version of yourself. But it starts with you. And I appreciate you guys so much. I think God first and I second said a comment. She said, yes, Nessa, you hit it, the nail on the head for the opportunists to the fullest. I'm still untangling in my mind all the things that I've been through with the experience. And that's a good place to be. I'm never going to lie to you. It sounds like it's a lot, but when you start to walk back the relationship, you'll be able to spot the red flags much better. When you go through processing all those information and stuff like that, you'll get to unpack the relationship better. And that would help you to see where you miss the red flag. What did you miss? What weren't you paying attention to? And it will help you to be able to see that much clearer. And you'll get the answers that you're looking for. So you're doing just fine by unpacking those things and walking back the relationship and going back into seeing where did you miss something? Like, okay. And this will help you to, I think that would help you to get more closure because it will help you to realize that there was no love there. They were playing a game from the beginning. Because the more you start to unpack and walk this back, you'll remember the first time they played in your face. You remember the first, you'll start to, oh, that's why you said, oh, you did tell me right to my face. You'll start to walk things back and realize they were bold. They did it right in front of your face the entire time. They weren't hiding. They did it right in front of your face the whole time. And wrapping your head around that, you're going to get angry. Listen, you're going to be mad. You're going to be upset. You're going to be raging and you're going to be angry to the point of frustration. Like you almost want to call them and cuss them. How could you do this? But that's a form of weakness. Okay? So we got to strengthen up past those stages of letting out so much, giving it to them. When you do that, they already know that you're not over them. You're still emotionally attached because you're giving them your emotions and you're giving them your time. It's not necessary. You know now, and okay, so what are they going to do different? If they played you then, you getting mad and throwing it in their face now, what you think that's going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's only going to let them know that, oh, you're on to me and, you know, like it's not going to do anything. And I'm not trying to mitigate your feelings or mitigate what you're going through or mitigate anything, but it's a hard task to take on. It's the acceptance. It's overcoming that hurdle. It's actually pushing through that healing phase. It's a push to say, hey, I got to really accept this, that you really did this to me. And it's not to get revengeful and bitter, because I'm telling you, it's best to heal and let go so you could start tapping into the gentle side of you, to the softer side of you, because you've been so in your strong energy. You've been operating in your defensive mode, in your fight or flight mode for so long that gentleness don't come so easy. Like, it's not so easy to be gentle. And I wanted to kind of tap into our task, because I know last week we spoke about going on dates last week. Don't think I forget because I left it for the end, right? But we spoke about going on solo dates last week, and listening to some jazz music. Can you guys drop in the comment section, where did you go? Because I want to hear about it. Where did you go and what was your date like? So if we could just kind of share that so I could get to find out, like, what did you guys do? My kids and I go first. We went to Olive Garden, y'all. And as for me, I went on my gym dates, which is not fair because I kind of do that. But I really did do my bubble bath though. I had a spa night, which that was my date as well too. I had a bubble bath, spa night. I had the candles on the tub side, and I ordered something. I'm gonna show you guys. It's like a tray that you put on the side of the tub. Let me see if I could go into my orders. You put it on the side of the tub, so this will help you to see. Let me see. Let me make sure there's no address. There's no address. Okay, down there. Okay. So see, guys. See, I did place my order. Okay. So this is what I want to show you guys. This right here. This tray. I don't know if you guys could see it well. I'm gonna try to bring it closer. There it is. That's that tray. Get out the way. What are you doing? Okay, there it is. See? I ordered that tray because I wanted to be able to sit in the tub, and I'll show you guys here as well too. I wanted to be able to sit in the tub and have my stuff and enjoy a nice bubble bath, and inside just to and this is like $29, y'all. Let me see. This is 29 bucks on Amazon. It's called a bath tray. And you see, you can have your nice little glass of wine. The focus is kind of messed up because, the focus is out of focus. Next time I'll do, I could share it on here directly. But you could sip your glass of wine, a nice little candle, maybe a little snack or something. So that's one thing that I put in my shopping cart because that's something that I felt like I could have added to make my night a little bit more fancy and to put my little screen while I'm having a bubble bath. I did have some Epsom salts in the water, the bubbles and the lighting going on in there too. So listen, create the scenery and the environment that you want to have. And this is how you're going to learn to start being gentle with yourself again. And you're going to start being softer with yourself because you're treating yourself gentle and soft and just taking care of yourself. And even when I'm in the house, I feel so motivated to cook. I feel so empowered to cook. I feel so, enlightened. I feel so much lighter now being on this side of things, that I'm no longer stressing. I'm no longer fighting with anyone. I'm no longer in a place where my mind is rushing. I'm no longer in a place where I'm not taking care of myself or I'm not taking care of my children. So I'm so grateful that I'm on this side. And it took some time. It took a lot of hard work. Sometimes you got to take yourself away from social media. Sometimes you got to pull yourself away from people around you, and you got to go in isolation so that you could take care of yourself and better yourself. And I'm telling you guys, I went to IKEA a few days ago and pick up some containers because tomorrow I'm going to be meal prepping. So I'm going to be in my kitchen tomorrow and I'm going to meal prep for 4 days. So I'll be able to get these things ready. I already seasoned up my whole chicken so I could bake it in the oven, and I could use some of those peats and cut it up so I could have that as a part of my salad and have my meal prep. So what I'm doing is I'm preparing for the week ahead. I'm creating that type of atmosphere for the week because during this transitional period for me of moving and everything, and being in a new environment, I gained at least 15 pounds. And I knew I was gaining the pounds because I was in a happy place. It was like, okay, you guys, it took me 3 years to go through the process. 3 years. I left in 2020, sold my house 2022, got my divorce finalized January 2023, and I was just going through the process. So from 2020, when I decided to start doing things and started the healing journey, all that took some time. So I'm not just sitting here telling you that this is going to happen just like that. It takes time. But I wanted it. I wanted to be on the other side. It was hard making that decision. You guys see the video of me showing you my storage container. I had to decide which way I was going to go. Was I going to stay and continue, or as I was going to leave? Did I want to stay, or do I want to be healed? Because it's hard if I stay and it's hard if I leave. But if I leave, I'll be healed and I'll be on the better side of things and I'll be much better. And I'm so grateful that I make the move, because I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And today I can honestly say that I am in a better place. And because I'm in a new environment, I embraced it. And that's why I tell you guys about grieving the loss of the illusion of what you thought was real. Grieve it, go through it, experience it. And that's what I did. So even moving to this new location, I'm experiencing it. I'm enjoying every moment of it. And I felt everything. And I ate because I'm in a happy place. I'm in a comfortable place. So I started to feel comfortable while I ate. And guess what? 15 pounds later, it's time to get on a meal plan. So here's what I'm doing, y'all. Type in the comment section if you guys want me to go live tomorrow in the kitchen. We'll meal prep and hang out to get together. No specific topic, just us meal prepping and preparing and having a plan and an agenda for the week. Hey, brother James, I'm coming on to TikTok and I'm gonna invite you on my live and we gonna talk, okay? So don't go nowhere. I'm gonna invite you up and we gonna talk, right? So let me know, guys, if you think, just type yes in the comment section if you want me to go live tomorrow, and I'll just bring my computer stuff to the kitchen and we'll just cook together tomorrow. You know, I don't know what you guys are doing. Just look out for me to go live, and if it's okay with you guys, I'll just invite you in and we'll go ahead and we'll meal prep together. We'll cook some food, and that's therapeutic. You're probably just going to hear some jazz music in the back, because that's where I get my relaxation. I feel like a chef. I have on my apron. I might be drinking a glass of wine. Who knows? But I'm in my element at that time because I love cooking. So I'm definitely going to be going live tomorrow. So I did get yeses. Yes, so I'm going to be going live tomorrow and just sharing with you guys, just meal prep. That's all I'm doing tomorrow, is preparing for the week ahead. And sometimes we could apply those same behaviors to things when we want success. What are we trying to accomplish? Why am I meal prepping tomorrow? Why am I doing it? Because I know I have healthy behaviors and healthy ways. And a part of me taking care of my body and me, my well-being, is going to make sure that I'm able to do other things. So it's going to help me to be productive in other areas, because I don't have to do the brain work about figuring out what to cook each day. So I have everything prepared. So now I can make better selection and better choices and make a healthier choice for me. So that's how that's going to help me, because I have a goal that I want to accomplish. So that's what I'm going to do, because I want to take the weight off. I don't want to continuously keep complaining about the same thing over and over, because the repetition of the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is insanity. So I have to do something different if I want to get a different result. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I want to invite you guys in, and we could go through this process tomorrow, Sunday, and let's do a reset. Let's actually reset the week, y'all. That's it. The live tomorrow will be about us resetting the week tomorrow, and getting ready for the Monday upcoming week, so we can see, like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So whether you need to put a schedule, okay, you're going to exercise 2 days out the week. Okay, so put that on the calendar, put that on the schedule. This meal plan is for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe you just want to meal prep for 3 days, 2 days, whatever you want to do. But I can't tell you guys, thank you enough. We'll jump right into that tomorrow. You guys have an amazing night here on YouTube and on TikTok. I'm going to be going live on TikTok still. I'm going to keep that going. But I hope you guys have an amazing day. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you to my new healers. And thank you to my day one healers that's been with me for a long time. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been a great part of my healing journey as well, a great part of my career change, a great part of my success. And the one thing I could do is come back and tell you thanks, and to sit here and talk with you guys to let you know that because of you, I show up. Because of you, I'm continuing to do this, because you guys didn't know this, but I started my YouTube channel in my mom's basement during my healing journey. And you guys were a major part of it, because you guys showed up every day, and we are here getting through this together. So I'm telling you, we're here for each other. I love y'all so, so much. Again, it's your girl Nessa, healing your silence. Have an outstanding day. And of course, you can't be silenced any longer. And I'm here to empower you to become your greatest self. Love y'all. Good night, y'all. Oh, thank you guys so much. Good night. Good night, y'all.